G'day guys, my name is Trent, aka LaxLime, bringing you a Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. Today we have a battle in the PGL. I'm up against the West Coast Braviaries. So yeah, all of the link and information for the PGL will be in the description below. So just go check that out to see our drafts and everything like that and the schedule. And yeah, it's actually a pretty good website. They've done, whoever put it together, I can't remember, did a really good job. So yeah, this is my team, that is his team. It was a pretty hard team to try to counter. So yeah, we'll pretty much just see how it goes. So I actually decided to lead off with my Jirachi. I actually made this Jirachi because he has a Galvantula and it's got like magic coat or whatever it is to try to stop him from setting up webs, because if he set up webs he pretty much would win the game. So it was sort of a lead one, it's sort of a bulky sort of one, but he ends up going for the taunt thinking that I'll probably go for the stealth rocks, but I don't have any, and that's cool. I've pretty much got a U-turn out of here, and my best bet to U-turn out into is Weavile, hoping that he doesn't go for any like really annoying move that hurts it too much, because I really need Weavile around to sort of put into work on his team. He does end up going for the knockoff, and it does knock off my my choice band, which sucks because with the choice band it actually put a lot of his mons in range to actually die. So without that, like, I've got to kind of work around it a little bit more difficulty, if that makes sort of sense. But I was sort of predicting that he'd probably go out into the Arcanine here, but I didn't like. It's fairly predictable. So I decided to actually go for the Brick Break to try to just get some damage off whatever came in, because that does more to the Arcanine than any other move I had. At this point, I needed to switch out into my Diancie. This is actually a special defensive Diancie, so it doesn't take that, like, it takes it okay, but it doesn't take it very well. So that's like, this is my specially defensive Diancie, and the Mega Sableye was my defensive mon. He does decide to switch out here, and as I decide to go for Stealth Rocks, like, I really need Stealth Rocks up for that Mega Pinsir, because, like, yeah, that's really scary. Like, Pinsir could just rip through my team. Like, when I was looking at all the calcs for it and everything, like, I was really like, oh my golly gosh, I am going to get completely beaten by a Mega Pinsir. So I had to play, like, really smart around it, and, like, Rocks is one of my best options to sort of put it in a position where it's not going to be a problem. So yeah, I've got a Mega first turn because that's the rules. I've never used a Mega Sableye before, so it's really confusing for me. I was also a bit concerned that he was going to set up Rocks as well, so I had to be like semi-careful about that, because I really didn't want to get messed up by Rocks when I'm switching in and out all of my mons. So I sort of played I keep on saying Weavile, but Sableye really badly, and I kind of like pretty much sacked it off after taking those two Scalds. I do sort of realize this, and I think it would probably be useful around later, because I do have Recover on it, and I can sort of use it to like block him from setting up the Rocks. And I decided going to Keldeo here to be able to eat up this predicted Scald. And of course he snags the burn on the predicted Scald, because that's just how life works. And yeah, so I'm also like, I'm still okay in an okay position. I knew that he was going to switch out into Cofregus here, so I go for the Surf instead of the Secret Sword or Sacred Sword. And you know what? This does a significant amount of damage. That's like 60%. He is not going to stick around for the next one, so I'm pretty safe actually just to go for another Surf anyway, just to get some damage off. I was sort of a little bit scared that he was going to switch into the Empoleon as well, and it wouldn't die. But like, it was truly like my best option at this point. He does go for the Protect, pretty much just stalling me out a little bit there, and because of the burn and everything. So like, Keldeo is really losing health very quickly at this point, and that's not nice. So he does do that switch into Empoleon, but like, a Surf actually still does, like, it does nothing really. It really does nothing. But I will outspeed on the next turn and at least be able to take it out if I choose to do so. And yeah, so Keldeo's down, and that sort of sucks, because it actually puts in a lot of work on his team with the moves that I had. But yeah, that's all right. These things happen. These things happen. I'm still like, it's still, at this point can really go either way, so I've got to be really careful. I decided to switch in Jirachi here, and just because I can use that U-turn initiative if I don't like what I've got, since it was a double down. And at this point, this is where I really overlooked something. Sorry. I know that I have no investment in speed on Jirachi, but then this Menaswine outsped. I didn't really think about that too well. And then I switched into Seraptor. Now, he switches out. This pretty much tells me he's Choice Scarfed, but I did not pick up on this when I was in the actual game. I don't know why. It was so obvious that it was Choice Scarfed, and it really messed me up later on. So yeah, I just U-turn out of there and I go into the Weavile because Weavile can just, put some offensive pressure against this Mandibuzz and pretty much force the switch out. Because that's, I really hate Mandibuzz. Like, he's truly a jerk. I thought he was going to switch out there, so that's why I ended up going for the knockoff. It would have been nice if I was able to go for the Ice Move and just take it out, but I went for the knockoff because I sort of figured he was going to switch out. I did for the double knockoff here because I figured he'd probably switch it out on the next turn, and at least I'm able to, when the Arcanine does switch in, I can knock off its Life Orb, which is useful. It's very useful. It's like, yeah, he has a sort of weird team dynamic. I really wasn't sure when I was looking at the team preview what's his defensive mons and what's not his defensive mons. Just in case he switched out there again, I decided to go for the knockoff. And then he ends up bringing in some Menaswine at this point. And I ain't going to survive an Earthquake, so I've got to switch out of there. And I decided to actually just go into my Sableye, and at this point it was just pretty much to use as death fodder. Because I had nothing else to really take an attack. It does go for the Icicle Crash, and it does a significant amount of damage. It's not enough to kill, but it will definitely kill on the next turn. I was sort of praying for the miss there so I could at least burn this thing. And that would make life a lot easier because, yeah, it's definitely an offensive threat against me. I go out into the Staraptor here, and I pretty much just need to start going for some Brave Birds to try to kill his team in a way, because that's the only thing I really have to really offensively push his team at this point. So Brave Bird does like a decent amount of damage. It of course leaves him with like 3 damage and doesn't take him out. And at this point, I decided I probably really need to keep Staraptor around just to pressure his team later on into the game. So I did decide to switch out here and go into my Diancie because it was a decent range of HP. As he actually goes for the knockoff, which is fine. Like, it's not going to do anything to Diancie. Like, it does have the leftovers, but like, yeah, she'll be right. It doesn't really matter. I do. Like, as I said, like, the Stealth Rocks are really important. It got defog before, and it looks like his only defogger is probably the Empoleon. Like, I know the Metabuzz can probably have defog, but it seems weird that he'd bring 2 defoggers. So yeah, I go for the Toxic just to make sure this thing dwindles down and eventually dies and can't do its annoying pain-splitting stuff on me. And, we're pretty much equal HP, so he goes for the Shadow Ball at this point. And I think my only actual attacking move on this is the Moonblast. So that's what I have to go for. I think I was Moonblast, Heal Bell, Toxic, and Stealth Rocks. Just mainly because if I got paralyzed by anything or burnt by anything, it'd be really annoying, and I had to be able to get that off some way. Yeah, I was actually really surprised about his team. I really didn't think he'd bring this team at all. It was really weird. I was a bit taken back when I started, like, saw his team preview, because I didn't expect it at all. So Mummy is down. That's good because he's annoying as he goes out into Pinsir. So he's taking a decent amount from rocks there, which is awesome, and they're up, and he's got no way of getting rid of them. I have to sack off Diancie at this stage because nothing can really take anything from Mega Pinsir. I sort of figured at this point he'd probably just go for the Sword Dance, because after one Sword Dance I will be in a lot of trouble because Quick Attack just annihilates my team at this point. So I just went straight for damage, just trying to get anything off on this thing. And this is awesome because now he is at a point where he if he switches back in, he'll die. So that's like the best thing. So I've got to try to like pressure him out in a way, and I decided to go on a Weavile. I was hoping he didn't go for Quick Attack, because if he went for Quick Attack he would have killed me, but he switched out, and I was like, well, why did you do that? Because you just swept my team. And he can't, like, as soon as Pinsir switches back in, like, there's nothing. I did go for the Ice Shard there just in case he decided not to go for Quick Attack or some sort of reason. As he goes for the Superpower at this point, and this is where I realized he was Scarfed in the game, and I was like, oh my god, I'm an idiot. Like, how did I not realize that he was Scarfed? Because I built Weavile actually to outspeed everything on his team other than this, like a Scarfer, basically. He does switch out into Mandibuzz here, as I just go for the Brave Bird, as it was my best sort of option. And he hit the hardest on the rest of his team. So, you know, a Brave Bird does like, that's an okay amount of damage, and I can just easily go for a second one next time, and the Mandibuzz will be going down. So it's Mandibuzz down, he's got the Pinsir and the Menoswine left. However, after the Straptor, I believe I've only got Rachi sitting in the back, and it's not really at a good HP. And yeah, Menoswine just outspeeds the rest of my team. So he's obviously going to go for the Ice Shard here, but I sort of figured that was like, I've got no way of avoiding that anyway. So at this point I thought I just lost the game, and that was the end. I do switch, yeah, so I only have Jirachi left here at 33 HP, so that's nothing. He does go for the Ice Shard again, and I live it, which was really, really surprising, as I go for the Iron Head and takes him out. And at this point I was like, oh my gosh, he should have switched out in Pinsir, because if he switched out to Pinsir, Pinsir went down to Rocks, and he could have switched back in and gone for the Earthquake and won the game. But because he made that play, I've ended up taking the win. And I was shocked. I was really, really shocked. He made it just that those last 3 turns, he just made the biggest mistake and actually ended up winning me the game. So, you know, thank you. Thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that game. You know, if you did, leave a like, comment, share, do all those cool things. And yeah, support the PGL, I guess. I guess that's what I need to say. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.